Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. Can't keep track of the days. We're going to do another day of reviews, stuff we've already done before. We're going to do rounding, addition, and subtraction. And I'm going to do one quick rounding, but this is a notebook page that we did in class together. You know, the notebooks that are still in our classroom that you don't have in front of you. Yeah, those notebooks. I'm going to take a picture of this and put it on Google Classroom. But real quick, we're just going to go over 3 examples. 1 rounding, 1 addition, 1 subtraction. And hopefully it'll jog your memory. The Khan Academy quiz, it's going to say test. That's just because that's their end of the whole thing, test. It's not a test. Don't freak out. It's just because it has a good variety of questions for you to practice. That's all. If it's loud outside, sorry, they are doing construction and like cutting things and trimming things. It's insane. But we'll do the best we can. Hopefully you can hear me. So first thing, rounding, we'll use my example. Let's say I asked you round, to the nearest hundreds place. So we know what places are. We just did a review of it. We've done it at the beginning of the year. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, millions. We know all those places, hopefully. So this question is asking us to round to the nearest hundreds. So let's use the number 2,437. Okay? The first thing you would need to do, and you'll see this in the poster, step 1 is going to be mark your place. When I say mark your place, I mean mark the hundreds place. Ones, tens, hundreds. So we are marking the 4 because that 4 is in the hundreds place. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look next door. Remember, we would always mark our place and look next door. We're looking at our 3. Hopefully you're remembering this now. Okay, yes, the line, then we draw the arrow. The next thing we do is now we have to rewrite our number. Our numbers in front, hopefully some of you are saying stay the same. So our numbers in front stay the same. The only number in front right now is the 2. If the number was 437, then we wouldn't write anything because there are no numbers in front. If there were this is a much bigger number, we would write all the numbers the same. Right now all we have is the 2, so we're going to write that, we're going to keep it the same. Next, the numbers that we're looking at are 4. Remember our little cheat? 4 or less. Let it rest. 5 or more. Raise the score. And again, I have all this on the notebook page and I will take a picture of it. So we're looking at our 3. Is that 4 or less or 5 or more? Well, 3 is less than 4, so we let it rest. That means we keep our 4 as a 4. That's it. And then the last step is everything in back, we turn to zeros. So we have 1, 2 numbers, so we're going to do 1, 2 zeros. So that's how we round that number to the nearest hundreds place. 2,437 gets rounded to 2,400. That makes sense because 37 is closer to 400 than it is getting me to 500. So that's what we're rounding. We rounded down. So hopefully that is a jogging your memory for rounding. Next, let's do an addition problem. And you might get very large addition problems, or you might get some smaller addition problems. Let's do a big one just for practice. Let's do 87,426 plus 32,813. that is a very large number, and the most important thing is to make sure that you're lining it up correctly. These numbers are in the ones place, these numbers are in the tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, and then 10,000s place, right? We're not getting confused and adding our 1 to our 6. We have to add the same places. So let's do that. Let's add these. 6 and 3 is 9. 2 and 1 is 3. 4 and 8. Well, 4 and 8 is 12. I can't write 12 here. I only have one spot. So hopefully you remember that we have to do, okay, my 1 goes up here and my 2 goes up here. Kind of split my 12. 7 and 2 is 9. And 1 is 10. So again, my 1 and 0. My 10 gets split up. And then 8 and 3 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. Now I don't have anywhere else to put my 1. I'm done. So that's when I can bring it down here. My commas go every third spot. So now I have 120,239. Just a quick reminder on addition. The hardest part to remember is when to carry that number. So hopefully we remember that. And when you're doing your quiz on Khan Academy, if something seems confusing, they have videos right there for you. Don't be afraid to take those videos. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Last one. Subtraction. And I might actually do 2 subtraction examples. It's a little more difficult. So let's do 752, 7,528 minus 475. Okay, now we're subtracting. This is a little different, but we still need to make sure that our places are lined up. These numbers are in the ones place, tens, hundreds, and then we only have one number in the thousands. So now let's subtract down. 8 minus 5, 3, 2 minus 7. Well, I can't do that. If I have 2, I cannot give you 7. So remember, we have to regroup. We have to ask our neighbor for help. So we are going to go over to the hundreds place. We're going to turn that 500 into 400, right? And we are going to turn that 100 into tens. 10 tens. So we're going to add a 1 right there. Because we took the 5, and here's 400, and that 1 is another 100. So it's still 500, we just split it up. So now we have 12 minus 7. I can do that. I can do 12 minus 7, which is 5. 4 minus 4, that's 0. 7 minus nothing is 7. And that's my answer, 7,053. And I'm going to do one more example because one problem that we had in subtracting was when we had to subtract across a lot of zeros. So let's do one more example. Let's do we did this too. That's okay. Let's do 800 minus 139. These ones were harder because we have to go across more zeros. So again, ones place, tens place, hundreds place. 0 minus 9. Can I do 0 minus 9? I cannot. If I have $0, I can't give you $9. I have to look to my guy next door. Can I take anything from 0? Nope, I cannot. I have to go next door again. 8. Okay, now I can take something from 8. My 8 turns into a 7. My 0, remember I just put a 1 in front, so I'm going to cross out. My 0 turns into a 10. But that still doesn't solve my problem here. 0 minus 9, I still can't do that. Now I have to turn my 10 into a 9. Now I can turn my 0 into a 10. Now I can do it. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 3 is 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. 661. And I'm going to show you one trick. If you don't like going across all those zeros, there's one thing that might help you. Let's do this. If we had, I'm going to keep that there so we can compare answers. But if we were doing 800 minus 139, that's a lot of zeros. So let's subtract 1. What's 800 minus 1? 799. So let's do 799 minus 139. Let's do that. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 3 is 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. I didn't have to regroup. I didn't have to do anything like that. But I did subtract 1. And now I have to give that 1 back. So now I'm going to add 1. 661. They're the same answer. So that's just a trick if you're going, I don't want to do all those zeros and regrouping. We're just going to subtract 1 because now I have 9s. Now I have big numbers that I won't have to regroup with. And then the most important thing is to remember to add that 1 back at the end. Because if you forget to, then you have the wrong answer. So you have to remember to add it at the end. So hopefully that's just a reminder of rounding, addition, and subtraction. Alright, so I think we have chapter 27 today, and we have about 4 chapters left, so we are almost to the end of this book. And we are going to read from the perspective of Aaron. Now remember, Chase found the medal, he's going to Portland Street. Joel and Shoshana and Brendan and Kimberly all know the truth now about Chase, and they're going to go find out why he's at Portland Street. So hopefully we'll get back to that soon. But now we're from the perspective of Aaron, one of the guys we don't like so much. So chapter 27, Aaron. Young man, we've been waiting nearly half an hour, the Dumbledore tells me. You promised to set up the card table for us. Ooh, this tells me he's at Portland Street also. So I wonder if this is happening about the same time that Chase is going over there. We'll get to it, I tell her. We're busy. This old bat has a voice like screeching gears on a truck with a bad transmission. You don't look very busy to me. You're just standing around the snack cart eating the cookies you're supposed to be passing out. Which is a big job. Bear pretends to be outraged. You expect us to do it on an empty stomach? Chill out, I advised Dumbledore. 5 more minutes. It goes without saying that community service at the Greybeard Motel is about as much fun as sticking your hand in a garbage disposal. The one good thing is you get to mess with the residents. She's been begging us half the morning to set up an extra card table in the rec room so she and 3 other blue hairs can play bridge. We've been having a few laughs, seeing how long we can blow her off. 5 minutes? Try 5 hours. Maybe 5 days. If she doesn't like it, let her set up her own card table. She's built like a sumo wrestler. In frustration, she retreats into the rec room, and Bear and I crack up. Oh, we'll do it for her eventually. You know, right before her head explodes. That's the art of it, picking the moment to give in just when she's about to report us to the nurses. We help ourselves to more cookies, but Bear tries to hog the last chocolate one, and we end up down on the floor, fighting for it, laughing like crazy. The cookie is crushed before either of us can eat it. We're getting back to our feet, brushing off the dust and crumbs, when we see him, Chase, striding down the hall like he's on the Amazing Race, in a real hurry to get somewhere, not too thrilled about it. Ever since our fight on the football field, he hasn't been turning up for community service. Not that he's really on it anyway. I guess he's back. Or at least he's back visiting his video star, the nastiest old Dumbledore in a building overflowing with them. Bear, who has amazing sight, spots the bulging pocket first. He looks like he's carrying a baseball, but there's a piece of cloth trailing from the opening. Hey Ambrose, I call. What have you got there? He ignores me and shifts his path to the opposite side of the corridor. Bear blocks his way. The man asked you a question. Another shift, so I step out beside Bear, and together we block the hall. Chase does exactly what a running back would do on a football field. He puts his head down and tries to blast through us, but we're linemen, and we stop him cold. In a game, I'd be trying to strip the ball. In this case, I reach down, grab the white fabric, and yank. So now they are about to see what he's holding. A dish towel opens up in my hand and something flies out it and hits the terrazzo floor with a clink. Star-shaped, blue ribbon, the geezer's medal. Chase falls on it like he's recovering a fumble. Bear and I go down on top of him. Two-thirds of that is ours, I snarl. It belongs to Mr. Solway. He doesn't care, Bear grunts. He barely remembers he ever had it. Get off. Somehow he leaves us both clear and scrambles to his feet, clutching the medal in his hand. You're not going to win this, man, I tell him. It's not even unfriendly. I'm giving him valuable information. We're taking that medal no matter what we have to do to you. He hesitates, considering his options. During the pause, Dumbledore comes back into the hall. What's going on out here? It's more than 5 minutes. We need our table set up now. Oh, I'll do it, offers Chase, grabbing the opportunity to get away from us. The medal concealed in his fist, he escorts Dumbledore into the rec room. Bear starts to follow him, but I hold him back. Too many witnesses, man. Be patient. He can't stay in there forever. We watch like hawks from the doorway, figuring he might try to stash the medal and come back for it later when we're not around. It's in his right hand. He never opens those fingers while he's setting up the folding table and chairs. He keeps one eye on us. I favor him with a grin that says, we're going to get you if you have to stand here until the next ice age. He's toast, Bear whispers triumphantly. The only way out of the room is through us. The Dumbledores in the rec room are fawing over Ambrose like he just saved the world from Lex Luthor or something. They love him so much. They love him as much as they hate us. It's enough to make you barf. He even takes a small potted plant from the TV cabinet and sets it on the table to be a centerpiece. The blue hairs are practically wiggling with joy. Then, as Chase turns, his elbow knocks the pot off the table. It hits the floor and shatters, spilling earth all over the place. Bear loves it. Ha! Idiot. Ambrose rushes to the corner where a vacuum cleaner stands against the wall. He plugs it in and starts to clean up his mess. We almost miss it. As he runs the vacuum back and forth over the dirt, he opens his hand and drops the medal into the unit's path. In a heartbeat, it's sucked up and gone. He glances over his shoulder to see if we noticed. I pretend we didn't, but Bear's face is bright red, which is a dead giveaway. Chase is vacuuming toward us now, speeding up, breaking into a run. The plug pops out of the wall. The vacuum falls silent. He keeps moving through, charging at us. Bear and I block the doorway and brace ourselves to deck him again. Just before impact, he lifts the vacuum cleaner like a battering ram and slams into us. We're both knocked back onto our butts, choking in a cloud of dust that the collision forces out of the filter bag. By the time our vision clears and we struggle back up again, Ambrose is almost out of our sight down the hall, still cradling the vacuum cleaner. We stare at each other, and the minute we get our breath back, we chorus, "Get him!" We take off after our star running back. We've never been able to outpace him before, but this time he's carrying a vacuum cleaner, not a football. That's bound to slow him down. Ay, ay, ay. I do not like Bear and Chase. I'm just going to be honest. So now that we've read that one, I just want a summary of what we just read. And the next chapter is going to be from the perspective of Shoshana. So hopefully they show up and, I don't know, maybe help him, or I'm trying to predict what's going to happen next. I'm not sure.